Now, we were all new enthusiasts once. We all had the Supra or the GTR or the old Acura NSX as our wallpapers on our phones. But as we blossomed as car enthusiasts, we began to show our signs of aging and we became veterans in the community. Now, while there's nothing wrong with being a newbie enthusiast, here are 5 surefire signs that you are a newbie car enthusiast. Number 1, you don't have a driver's license. Now, we were all there once. We were all in our early teens, mid teens before we got our license, showing up to the car meets or leaving the car meets with 2 or 3 of our friends. One of our moms picked us up and dropped us off. We were all there once because we love cars just like you did. But in the pre-driver's license stage, there's no way you can truly be a veteran car enthusiast. For starters, you've never even driven before. You don't understand the feeling. You don't know what it's like to drive a sports car and enjoy a car for its handling and its power. But this is also a stage where you're very young, so it makes sense that you're not a veteran yet because you're just starting to get into cars. You're just starting to learn about it through your dad, your grandpa, your brother, through friends at school, maybe even through social media nowadays. But at this point, you haven't even scratched the surface of what it means to be a car enthusiast, and so it's okay. You're still in your egg. You're about to break out anytime now as soon as you get your driver's license. Number 2, the extent of your car knowledge comes exclusively from YouTube and video games. And this differs from the veteran car enthusiast who, although they have a lot of knowledge from consuming media whenever they were younger, watching YouTube videos and playing video games, they also have a lot of real world experience by working on their own cars, building their own cars, helping their friends, etc. So if you're an avid consumer of Need for Speed games, Gran Turismo games, Forza games, an avid consumer of the Stradman, Doug DeMuro, Drew Peacock, please continue because you're taking your very first steps into becoming a true car enthusiast. Number 3, you argue about cars online quite often. Now, for this, I'm not talking about the boomers that argue in forums about which oil filter is better and why you should use specific springs to replace on your car. I'm really talking about the people that argue in the comment sections of Instagram posts and TikTok posts, whether it's about the build of the car or something that the guy said. A surefire way to know that you're a newbie is that you're in the comment section arguing about the car, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether his build sucks, whether you really like his build, because oftentimes you really feel a connection to that specific creator because while you might not have your own car yet, you enjoy the content online that others put out and you feel like you have a stake in their car to some extent. And while I also think that this one comes with maturity as well and age, and often the newbie car enthusiasts are younger and the veteran car enthusiasts are older, I still believe that a newbie car enthusiast, regardless of age, would be more likely to be seen arguing in the comment section online over cars about specific builds than you would see a veteran car enthusiast who may be more preoccupied with their own cars, their own builds, and their own car activities. Number 4, you know all the specs and numbers for every car that you like. Now, while this is not to be confused with the knowledge of a veteran car enthusiast, this knowledge comes from research online exclusively. You've browsed the internet for days at a time looking at these statistics and numbers for the cars that you like. You've researched them on Instagram, on YouTube. You've watched all the videos you can and consumed all the content around builds, modifications, specifications, and the stock numbers around the cars that you like. And while it is important to have a working knowledge of the numbers and statistics of certain cars, I still think that Sean from Tokyo Drift really said it best.
Wow, you can read the brochure.
And before we get to number 5, I want to bring up an honorable mention. And this guy is the car show photographer. Now, I always see younger people showing up to car shows, car meets, maybe track days, and they bring along their cameras or sometimes even just a cell phone, and they're taking picture of every cool car that they find. These people are often picked up at the end of the day, and while you could see veterans doing this from time to time, it's typically more of a newbie activity. And finally, at number 5, you have your dream car either as your wallpaper on your phone or hung up as a poster in your room. And while this is great that you have a car like a GTR or a Supra or a Lamborghini to shoot for in your life, typically as car enthusiasts grow and become veterans, they have more realistic cars that they like, such as the S2000, Mustangs, Corvettes, cars of that nature. And while it's perfectly fine for a car enthusiast veteran to want a Supra, a GTR, or a Lamborghini, these are very cool cars, it's just typically not the norm. Typically, as you grow as a car enthusiast, you want something that you're going to be able to build and enjoy for a long period of time. And while some of us become veterans and never grow out of our dream car and end up achieving a car like a GTR or Supra one day, a lot of us do end up changing and swapping over and finding cars that are more attainable for us that we can enjoy long term. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, click one of the videos on the screen, and I'll see you in the next one.